Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hang on, let me pause it. There we go. It looked a bit foggy, so I've just wiped the lens. Anyway, we are back here with another beer review, and it's a beer that I picked up from the trade show. And I picked it up from the trade show last year along with another beer. And I thought I reviewed them last year, definitely one anyway, at least. And I've searched me YouTube and I can't seem to find it. So I literally picked this up the other day just because I wasn't sure if I had done it. So basically, if I have reviewed it and you do see it, apologies. If I haven't, woohoo, great, I've got another review. So yes, at the trade show, there is a decorating firm, if you like, supplier online from the northeast, from Durham, I believe. Could be from Newcastle, but I'm certain it's Durham. And they had some beers brewed for them as a promotional thing, as a bit of a gimmick, if you like. Now, the brewery, the reason they'd done that is because one of the lads I was talking to said they'd seen that this other company was sort of using this as a bit of a promotional thing and, you know, sort of gimmick, if you like. Not so much gimmick, but a promotional thing. So he put it forward that this company does the same sort of thing, and that is what they've done. So they're a decorating show. They've had some beer brewed for them as a bit of a promotional thing. They only had one sort there this year, so I'm led to believe anyway. And apparently it's brewed from a brewery out of Sheffield. Now, I didn't quite hear the name of the brewery that he said, but I'm certain it began with H. So I've been online and I've searched, and the only Sheffield brewery I can find that begins with H is Heist Brewery. So I'm assuming this beer is brewed by Heist. So there you go. That's the story of how I got this beer and why I'm doing it. The company are Decorating Centre Online. I think that's what they're called. I could be wrong. Decorating Centre Online Pro or something. So if you need any decorating things, this is not a it's not a paid promotion or nothing. But if you need any decorating things and you're up north, if you're down south, you're probably knackered. But if you're up north, go online, have a look at that and what have you. Anyway, so brewed from them. They're out of the northeast. They're out of Durham or Newcastle, I think, but certain it's Durham. It is apparently brewed, or I'm thinking, and if I am wrong, shoot me down in flames and correct me. Apparently brewed from Heist Brewery at Sheffield, and this is a can of their IPAint. So there we go. This is a traditional IPA. It's coming in at 4.6% in a 440ml can. It is not saying a lot apart from on the back, DCO Pro traditional IPA, 4.6 440ml can, vegan friendly, best before sea base, drink responsibly, water, malt, contains gluten, yeast and hops. Doesn't really say anything on the back, just some scanny thing probably to do with decorating, but there we go. Very simple label, which I do kind of like. So I'm not going to say much more. It's going in a traditional sort of glass, and that brewery went a long time ago from sort of Western Supermare RCH Brewery. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Slightly chilled. Hopefully it's not going to explode on me. Traditional IPA. Is it going to be any good? We shall soon find out. It's certainly not got the look, say, of maybe a traditional IPA. It's got that sort of modern look of an IPA, not so much traditional. So, beer in a glass. Looks very nice, but looks very modern rather than traditional. Orangey sort of colour, I'm going to say. Finger mix and match head. It's a non-nucleated glass. I'm not seeing a lot come up there. So, let's give it a swirl. Dive in with the nose. Is there a best before date on the bottom? Let me just double check this. Best before, 8th of the 11th, 25. Packaged 8th of the 11th, 24. So that is extremely fresh. Extremely fresh, because today's date is 21st. It's only a couple of weeks old, this beer. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Doesn't look very traditional, but we shall see. Dive in with the nose, have a sniff. Oh wow, that's not traditional. Certainly not on the nose. Wow, yeah, that's proper tropical notes. Yeah, it's just a tropical fruit bowl. The mango things there, passion fruit, big sort of citrus influence in it. A little bit of hoppiness, a nice light sweet maltiness in the background. Smells decent. So, stop talking, dive in on possibly Heist Brew Co out of Sheffield and their IPAint. Brewed, probably not directly brewed for DC Pro, but they probably relabeled it and given it to them to sort of promote. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. How would I put this? Along the lines of above average supermarket beer, but nothing that sort of wows you. But that's my first thoughts on it. The body sort of feels all right at the moment. I wouldn't say it's really heavy. I'd say it's medium body. A little bit light, but medium would be fair. Mouthfeel, okay. Carbonation is there. A little bit. It does roughen up the mouth slightly. I'm not going to be too harsh on it, but it does roughen up the mouth slightly. Flavours are coming through more now, which makes it a bit nicer. Not the smoothest of beers, but with a slightly busy mouthfeel with the carbonation and just a medium sort of body, 4.6% thing, you sort of expect it. On that lower ABV, you're not expecting anything sort of like low carbonation or really big sort of body. Now, my initial thing was, yeah, tropical, which it is. A little bit light, a little bit busy in the mouth. I'm thinking, you know, we are looking along the lines of very much a supermarket sort of beer. But I think it does just have that little bit more, this one. So you are hit with tropical. There is a little bit of pineness there, a little bit of grapefruit. They sort of come in afterwards, I would say, because that tropical note, the main tropical note sort of seemed to fade reasonably quick. And I think the only thing sort of keeping this beer alive is the pineness, the grapefruit sort of notes that are sort of lingering a little bit longer. A touch of resinous, a little bit of an oily feel in the mouth, a little oily coating it's leaving. A slight sweet maltiness that tickles along in the background. I mean, it's not bad actually. It's no world beater, right? And let's face it, if they're brewing a beer to sort of give away to these companies as a little bit of a promotional thing, it's not going to be the greatest beer. That said, nor is it the worst beer in the world. It's nowhere near a traditional IPA. I'm wondering whether they changed the beer from last year and the labels are still the same and not been changed, because there's no way that is a traditional IPA. Clearly not, with them notes. I was expecting it to be darker, a lot more malty, maybe, I don't know, a subtle fruity note. Definitely not that colour. It maybe has a little tickle of a West Coast feel in there. And I think that's the side of this beer that I'm enjoying. Like I said, you get that little piney note, that resinous sort of thing, that grapefruit thing going on. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's certainly not bad. No world beater. I think I'm going to say this is definitely more West Coast, because you still get them sort of tropical notes in some West Coasts. Yeah, it's not a bad drink. Shut up, cat. I'll be there in a minute. Try and do a video. 4.6%. Yeah, sort of drinks like that. There is just that little thinness about it somewhere in the flavour. Like I say, that is where the tropical notes sort of die off. But it does leave you with that piney, grapefruit, little bitter finish, which is pleasant. It's a nice little finish to it, really. It sort of, as I said before, keeps the beer alive. So yeah, what do I think of this beer? No world beater. You sort of start to get disappointed, and then you kind of like it in the end, really. So anyone that was at the trade show, if you've had this and you happen to watch me and you happen to look this up to see if anyone's reviewed it, let me know your thoughts on it. Obviously, you can't go and just pick it up. Be interesting to know if it is Heist Brew. I reckon this will be one of their other beers that they've just canned anyway and given away some, you know, basically just whacked them in cans and put a new label on. Be interesting if anyone knows what brew that is. But yeah, quite an enjoyable drop, to be honest. It's not perfect, but it is quite an enjoyable drop, it's got to be said. So if it is Heist Brew, well done. DC Pro, DC Online Pro, Decorating Centre Online Pro. If you see this, somebody sees this, let me know, show me. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave you in peace. I've got more work to do at home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.